That's when I knew, I'm like, okay, I feel like I'm doing something right, but it doesn't feel right. Hi, my name is Brittany and welcome back to my channel. I am so happy that you are here. Today's video is going to be different. I want to talk about the 5 things that I wish I knew before going full-time in my web design business. I work from home as a full-time web designer. I have my own little small but mighty business, Lead Creatively Digital. It's pretty much just me doing a lot of things, including WordPress web design, Shopify web design, Squarespace web design, and graphic design services. That is what I do every day. I went full-time in my business about 3 years ago. I didn't think I would ever get to that point, and it literally came out of nowhere. It was like it happened when the pandemic was like popping off, really. That was a scary time for a lot of entrepreneurs. And so like a lot of people pivoted, but I was like blessed to be in this situation where I could just go full time. What triggered that for me was that I got to a point where I couldn't keep up with taking care of my business, which is what I was doing part-time in my job. I couldn't keep up with both. It was like a whole lot to juggle, and it got super overwhelming. And then I also realized that the revenue that I was making from my business was more than enough to supplement my lifestyle. So I took the plunge. I just said, F it, I'm gonna go ahead and just quit my job and go full time with my business. And it's one of the best decisions that I've made ever in my whole life. Building a business, whether you are full-time or part-time, is a pretty lonely thing. I'm sure you've heard before, but I want to dive deeper into why it's just so damn true. Especially if you are doing everything from home, like you don't have the luxury of like, say, hanging out with your work buddies at the water cooler, or, you know, going out with your work friends for like a quick lunch. Things can feel like pretty isolating at times when you are building a business, especially if you are doing it all on your own from home. Sure, you could talk about business related stuff with your friends and family members, but if they can't relate to you, like if they don't have a business of their own, you know, they have a normal 9-to-5 job, then it could feel like you're actually talking them to death about something that just really doesn't pertain to them or their lifestyle at all. Here are a couple of things that you could do so that it feels a lot less lonely. Start by researching online business groups or memberships to meet up with potential business besties. In the past, I joined a couple memberships and met up with so many different individuals online. We had check-in calls to keep us motivated in whatever goal that we were trying to reach within our business. So that really helped. Just finding like an accountability buddy in a way. Try to gain one main business bestie that you can always count on. So it's just one person that you could say maybe text or call, not randomly of course, because you guys are both super busy, but having those little check-ins with someone who is in the same boat as you, who is building a brand just like you are doing. And you guys just, you know, get on a phone call and talk about what's going on in your businesses, maybe talk about what's going on personally in your life. It's important to be in contact with someone who just gets it, you know, who just gets all the things. So this second point I am super excited to talk about because I feel like I don't want to say that I'm like the queen of this concept, but it's definitely something that you want to adopt early on, especially if you are going full-time in your business. And that is setting boundaries. Oh, I love boundaries in business, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why they make me so happy. When it comes to boundaries, I find that for some entrepreneurs, it's like a taboo topic. It's like they're willing to talk about it, but putting in the work to establish boundaries, it kind of creeps them out, right? It makes them feel like a little icky because they feel like they're not showing up for their dream clients or customers when it's the total opposite. You need boundaries to show up the way that you would want to in your business every day. I'm so happy that I tapped into creating boundaries early on and going full time, because if I did not, I probably wouldn't enjoy doing what I do on a daily basis. When you set boundaries the right way in your business, you are truly protecting your energy and resources and honing in on how you manage client relationships. You end up managing your time way better, which means your productivity improves. You build trust within your brand by being transparent about the things that you enjoy doing, you're willing to do in your business, and the things that you just flat out won't do. You set up that transparency early on, then you are letting others know what they can expect from you. So they're not guessing. They know exactly what you want to do, what you are cool with doing, and what you just won't do. And being a new mom, I find that having boundaries set in my business is just the best thing ever. Like, if I didn't have these boundaries set up, I wouldn't know what I'd be doing right now. I would probably literally be tearing my hair out if I did not have any boundaries in place. The whole concept about setting boundaries really deserves its own video, but I will just bullet point some super cool boundaries that you can set today. Number one, setting and sticking to a concrete work schedule. Figuring out what those hours are for you. For me, I do client work Monday through Thursday, 9 to 5. I also have a website support program. And so for those people that are underneath that membership, I take care of those tasks for them. Any website support tasks between the hours of 9 to 2, Monday through Thursday. Fridays, I don't do any work for clients unless it involves a website emergency of some sort. Then, I hop on my computer, fix whatever it is, and then I'm back to my Friday. So that's my schedule. I don't do weekends at all. I don't answer any emails in the evening or in the early morning, only within that 9 to 5 or 9 to 2 window, just based on whatever the situation is for my client, whether they are under that website support program or if they're just within a project. Saying no, just flat out saying no, if the task that you are, requested to do is just not top priority for your day. If it's not helping you reach a goal within your business, it's not like part of, your top 3 priorities of that day, then push it to the next day. Just say no to it entirely. I promise you it can get done the next day. No one's going to be upset about it. This is a big one. Avoid overscheduling yourself in meetings and Zoom calls throughout the week. Zoom calls are a time suck. They just are. Phone calls are a time suck. Text messages from clients are a time suck. Those are things I just will not allow, but I do have to have meetings every now and then. And so when it comes down to scheduling my meetings, I only allow for 2 days out of the week. I'm actually going to probably decrease that soon. I only allow for 2 days out of the week in which meetings can be scheduled with me. So that way I can get stuff done. If I'm in meetings all week long, I'm losing a ton of time because sometimes meetings can run over. You get requests during your meetings that you have to tend to after. Meetings just end up taking over your week if you let them. So limit the amount of time that you have per week for your Zoom calls. It's a game changer. It really, really is. But yeah, meetings are a time suck. They are. I'm so sorry to say that. One thing that you can do to limit the amount of meetings that you have with clients, especially if you are going to be doing this web design thing, utilizing a tool that'll allow you to send a quick video instruction on a certain topic. Because I find that when I had a ton of meetings, it really was about something that a client couldn't understand within their website. I'm like, oh, well, let me just teach them this thing real quick. But then the meeting would run on, more questions would be asked, and then I lose a ton of time, right? And so I use a tool called Loom to just quickly record a little tutorial. And then I'll just send the link to that video to my client so that way they can quickly learn that concept. It takes like maybe at the most for most of those little tutorials, like around maybe 6 to 8 minutes to film. That's another game changer. That little tool is super awesome. I pay for the premium version of it, which I think it's like maybe $10 a month, and that allows you to have unlimited videos. So that way, if you have a client that asks a question about something that you've already filmed, you could just send them the video that you already have. You can bank up a lot of tutorial videos and just have that little library on hand. That'll help you out in those like little crunch time situations, but you really just want to kind of just like send your client what it is that they're asking for. Loom is really, really helpful with allowing you to do that, to create that resource of tutorials. It's super cool. And the last bullet point that I want to share here is just don't let people pick your brain. Don't let people just say, oh, can I pick your brain about this thing? Like, do you know how much time I lose when you want to pick my brain about something? I don't even like the term pick my brain. It's like up there with the word moist. Anyway, that one is it's a big one because it's almost like those, constant Zoom meetings, right? If you allow people to just, ask you for advice out of the blue while you're trying to get all these things done, then you're going to just lose time. If you're just, allowing them to just kind of like jump into your focus area, like it just throws you off, right? If someone wants to have I guess maybe pick your brain session, or if they want to consult with you on something, then you can offer like paid calls on something like that. I use a tool called Calendly for people to book calls with me. And so if they need advice on something, I have a call link in which they can pay me for getting that advice. If you aren't a client of mine, especially underneath the website support program that I have, then picking my brain just is not an option. Like, that's just something that you just cannot do for free. Our time is valuable in business. It's our greatest resource, and when we lose it because we just can't gain our time back, it just does not feel good to lose time. And so that's one of the things that will have your time just being drained from you, is just allowing people to ask you for advice and you just giving it to them freely. I do plan on creating an entire video about setting boundaries as an online entrepreneur, because there are a lot of us that aren't taking advantage of this concept. It is an essential one to have in business. It's something that you shouldn't be scared to do. In order for your brand to grow, you have to show up in it every day as the most optimal you. And the way to do that is just to make sure that your energy is protected, and boundaries does that. The third thing that I wish I knew before going full time, and I kind of knew this because, before I went full time in my business, I was part time in my business. And when I started my business, it was just hard. It was just simply hard, very, very challenging every day. There were a ton of ups and downs, both mentally and financially. There were days where I was like, how am I going to make money to pay for this thing that I need, or pay for this bill so, something doesn't get cut off? How am I going to do this every day while juggling, my part-time job and my little business? How is this going to happen, right? I wish that business was as easy as, say, oh, in my first month, I'm going to make millions of dollars. And then in my first 2 weeks, I'm going to get a huge social media following. And then in my first day, I'm going to be known as the go-to person in my realm of expertise because I'm just good like that. That's a reach, obviously. Like, no one thinks business is like that, but I know some people who had that similar pipe dream. They thought that success would just come in very easily, when that's not the case. Building a business is supposed to be hard. Like, if you are starting your business, if you're going full-time in your business and you find it as challenging, guess what? You're doing it right. Really, really good things in life just don't come easy. It requires a lot of hard work, a lot of diligence, some, nights where you just kind of like flat out just cry and just, you're freaking out about all these tasks that you have to do in the morning that may not even contribute to your bottom line. You feel like you're throwing spaghetti at the walls. Things feel chaotic, things feel scary, and that is how it feels to build a truly, truly great business in the beginning. It sounds like really messed up, but that's how it is. It's no walk in the park. When I first started doing this, oh my gosh, it was scary. And that's when I knew, I'm like, okay, I feel like I'm doing something right, but it doesn't feel right. If you're questioning shit, then you're doing it right. This one just takes consistency, just making sure that you show up in your business every day as the best you that you can be, going back to making sure that you set boundaries. Yes, set boundaries in the beginning when you are going full-time in your brand, because you're going to need it. You're going to need it for those really scary days that just come out of nowhere. You may feel like you have a really great day, and then the next day, you know, it feels like things just go to shit. And that's just how it is. If that is happening to you, my friend, do not worry. As long as you just stick with whatever it is that you are doing in building your business and working to go full-time, if you are just coming in and you're staying consistent with that, those ups and downs are going to happen, but trust me, things will begin to smooth out. You will still need to stay consistent. There will be some days where it just doesn't feel right, even when you feel like you have figured it out, but I promise you, it gets so much easier. Fourth thing that I wish I knew when going full-time in my web design business is that creating for clients, building websites for, you know, all these awesome people, there is no one way to do it. Every designer has their own process. In the beginning, I felt that with my process that I was, you know, honing in on, trying to figure out when it came to managing a web design project, executing that project, getting a website launched, all those things. In the beginning, I thought I was doing everything right, and then I would watch everybody else's processes, other designers' processes, and I would be like, oh crap, am I like missing some things? Am I doing something wrong? And then imposter syndrome just came in and tried to take over my soul. There's no right way of building a website or designing a flyer or creating a logo. You create the process that makes the most sense to you. As long as you are sticking to, you know, best practices, you're always studying up on the subject, core subject within your business, as long as you are keeping up with some trends, because not every trend you need to follow. But as long as you find a process that makes the most sense to you, you hone in on that, you improve that process over time, then you're golden. I love my process. I'm totally happy with it. I find times where, oh, I can maybe implement this new tool into my process or try out this new technique in my process. But the process that I have, like the basis of it, I am totally happy with. In the beginning, I was happy with it, and then I wasn't happy with it, and then now I'm in love with it. Create a process that you love, stick to it, improve that process over time. Don't worry about anyone else's process. There's nothing wrong with getting inspiration from others, but don't let that take over your own process. Just stick to something that just works for you. The fifth thing that I wish I knew when going full-time in my business is that systems make a huge difference when it comes to you getting high-level projects completed. All types of systems, right? Whether it is a fully automated system or a manual system for certain processes in your business, you've got to have a system like a step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4 thing for specific concepts in your brand for those things to run smoothly. Consultation calls, you got to have a system for it. Onboarding and offboarding clients, you got to have a system for it. Project management, you should have a system for it. Content creation, marketing, handling emails, sending past due invoices to clients, managing your books, all the things. You should have systems in place for all these little things. Even if you have to fire clients, yes, that's a thing. I've done it a few times before, and I have a system that makes it so that it's less icky to do. Some of these systems can be fully automated using a CRM software like Honeybook or Dubsado. Those pieces of software come with features that allow you to create workflows that'll put these systems in place, implement them, execute them in the background while you're doing the important stuff in your business. You will find that some systems require like a more personal touch, like they have to be done manually in order for them to work the way you want them to. This is where outsourcing becomes your best friend. But this is one thing that I took way too long to do. I had the means to do it, but I just didn't do it when I should have. And that was hiring a VA. Oh my God. So at the top of 2022, yes, like it took me that long to, hire a VA. I finally did it. And I will say that it was a game changer. The thing that held me back from doing that though is because I was so stuck on doing certain things in my business because I felt like it was the right way to do it. I didn't want anyone to mess that up. And when you hire a VA, they specialize in like all these admin tasks. They know how to get these things done quickly, efficiently, and they can do it in a way that makes sense to you, a way that works for your business, that is in line with your branding. They can definitely execute these tasks for you, so that way you focus on the high level projects in your business, the things that help you really truly grow your brand. There's a website called Time Etc. I find that it is a cost-effective way for you to find a VA. That's how I found my VA, and I'm just so glad that I found that company. Time Etc. made it super easy for me to find my VA. They helped match me up with someone who understood certain pieces of software in my business, certain processes that I was handling on my own in my business, and it just worked out great. So definitely check out that resource if you are looking to hire a VA for your brand. That is it. Those are the 5 things that I wish I knew when going full-time in my business. These 5 things just apply to whether you are going full-time in your business or if you're currently part-time in your business. But these are the things that I personally wish that I knew, or that I think others should know right away, because I already knew about boundaries. If you have any questions about anything that I've mentioned in this video, or have some of your own insight into these 5 things, then let's chat in the comments below. I would love to get your input on these things. And if you watched this to the very end, you are a real one. Thank you for sticking around. If you want more talking head videos like this, just let me know. I am probably going to do some more. I have like a ton of topics that I want to talk about, and I still will be mixing in my vlog videos because I do really enjoy those. Right now, I'm just like in this point where I'm just like really enjoying YouTube and creating on YouTube, and I just want to do the things that I love to create, and these are the videos that I like so far. So any questions that you have, just leave them in the comments below. Like and subscribe if you have not, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.